So, I passed. Yes, done it. I didn't like do any vlogs or anything about it because I didn't really want to keep my mind on it and kind of get myself all worked up. But yeah, I passed my practical driving test, and yeah, it went really well. I got 3 minors. But yeah, this which isn't, that's not great. It's not the perfect, obviously. I think the maximum is like 15 minors. So yeah, 3 minors is pretty good. But yeah, this video is basically kind of going to explain how to pass your test, your practical test first time. I'm saying practical specifically because for the theory, I did not. I mean, I passed 3rd time with that. There's a kind of like, I guess, theory that goes around that like everyone who's really good at their theory tends to not be that great at their practical, and everyone who doesn't do great in their theory does good in their practical. But I don't know. I mean, I know people who have done good in their theory and their practical, both of them first time, and I also know people who have done like not great all round anyway. But yeah, so this is gonna just talk about the practical because the theory I cannot help you with. That's I think the theory is a lot more individual. Like everyone, theory just depends on how smart you are, and that's not saying that I'm not smart, but I mean some of those questions I just did not get. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm in this car is now my car. Don't know if you can see the baby seat in the back. That's because this is my mum's old car. She's got a new car now, and we need to move all this stuff into there. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually really lucky with the car I've got. I've got a 2013 Ford Fiesta, which is extremely like, I'm like really grateful for that. I'm very lucky. Anyway, how to pass your practical driving test first time. It's really not that like crazy. Like the test is only what, I mean 35 to 40 minutes. It's really not that long. I thought it was going to be at least an hour, and that kind of made me think, oh no, it's going to be like, it's going to drag on so much, and there's so much room for like error. But it's so like simple. I don't think people get across the message enough that it's so like simple. Like you will only do 1 maneuver. I got given the reverse round a corner, which I was pretty happy with because that's one of my best. I was hoping I didn't get the parallel parking because I'm not great at that. Anyway, yeah, you get 1 maneuver. You have to do independent driving. He done it for me like twice. So at one point he was like, okay, so we're gonna go right at the traffic lights, and then right at the next traffic lights, and then a right at the first like junction or something like that. And so I've done that, and then about 5 minutes later he gave me another one, and he said like, okay, left at the roundabout, and then like right at the next roundabout, and then like straight on at the next traffic lights. So yeah, he gave me about 2 independent drivings, whatever you want to call it, 1 maneuver, and really the rest is just kind of him telling me where to go. Oh, and then at some points he tells you that they will tell you just to literally just park up on the side, and then you just get off like a really random place. He'll just be like, okay, just park up on the left, and then you, or if you're in America, I guess it'll be right, but this is UK. You know, yeah, park up on the left. And yeah, you'll just park up and then you'll go, okay, now set off when you're ready. And yeah, must admit I didn't do great on one of those parts because I was going past the lorry, and as soon as I went past it, he told me to pull up on the left, and then I pretty much almost forgot to indicate, so that would have failed me. Anyway, point is, it's actually really, really way simpler than people make it out to be, and I think people get so like worked up about it that they end up making really like dumb mistakes. I think roundabouts are one of the hardest things for people to get their head around, but when it comes down to it, I think overall, like, I think a lot of this random stuff helps, like just talking to the instructor. Like when he was walking me to the car, I was talking to him just like so much. I was like being really happy and just like talking to him, and he was talking to me, asking about what I do and all of that. And I think when you do all that, it kind of gives them a better opinion on you. Like if you're just going to be really like stubborn and like, or if you're so nervous you just don't want to speak and you're like, yeah, like that, then they're going to be like, oh, this, I don't know. In my opinion, it just kind of, that probably changed it. But yeah, so yeah, just be talkative, be like really happy and nice and everything, and also just make sure that, say if you do bad at roundabouts, or you do bad at the thing that you are weakest at, just as long as the rest of the drive is really good, like, you'll be fine. Like, with me, he technically let me off for something, and he just said, yeah, because the rest of the drive was so good, I was a bit lucky there. But yeah, just literally the main part of the drive is really simple. If you've been, like, if you are good at just driving around casually in your lessons, then you should really be fine. Just don't make any like silly mistakes. For me personally, I've been technically driving for over a year now, so maybe that kind of made it easier for me. I started, well, I actually made a video. I think I made a video when I actually first started, and that was ages ago. That was, yeah, over a year ago. I think I actually booked my tests on, like I booked my lessons, sorry, my first lessons on my birthday, which was last February, not the February just gone, but last February. Anyway, yeah, what else is there? Sorry, I'm actually sweating. I don't know why I'm wearing so much, and I'm wearing all black, and it's so hot today. I need to, yeah, so what else is there? Man, I am actually fully sweating, you can probably tell. Yeah, I think actually one of the worst parts of the entire test, believe it or not, is actually just the waiting for, like, the anticipation. So, like, for me, I guess it's normal, I don't really know. Like I say, I mean, a past first time, so I haven't done it multiple times, but you have a lesson before your test with your normal instructor, and that'll be like a normal length lesson, like an hour or whatever, just you driving around. You'll go over all 3 manoeuvres, you'll do like roundabouts, you'll do everything, and all of that was fine because it kind of gets you like relaxed, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, this, if they just literally, if you woke up on the day and you just had to go straight to the test, I would have failed. But yeah, because they obviously give you this lesson before the test. But I think the worst part is actually like waiting in the waiting room, because it's almost like a dentist or like a doctor's waiting room, and you just kind of like sit in there and wait for your a test instructor to come out, and you don't know who you're going to have. They could be the worst one there, could be the best one there, and yeah, so that probably makes it seem worse. But also, be relaxed. Like for me, I was I'd say the first 5 or 10 minutes, I was so nervous. My hands were like shaking, and they were like loose on the steering wheel, and I felt like I wasn't gripping it tight enough. But really, it's fine. And I guess it does depend on the kind of test instructor you have. But apparently, the guy I had is known to be quite like blunt and everything. But he was actually really good with me. And yeah, so what else is there to talk about? I'll just run over a few things that you need to remember. So just remember, like roundabouts, always stay in your lane on a roundabout. If you're going first exit, then obviously stay in the left lane. If you're going second exit, stay in the left lane. If you're going anywhere from third exit onwards, stay in the right lane. Or if it's like a free lane motorway, free lane roundabout, then obviously like second exit will be middle lane. Yeah, you probably know all that, but just to run it over. To be honest, like I'm in what's known to be a difficult area. Apparently this is one of the hardest areas for test people. Like, I don't know, I don't want to say like in London or whatever, because I don't know if it is, but everyone says this is one of the worst areas to do it. And it wasn't that bad. Like, I think I got maybe 2 big roundabouts and that's it. And they weren't hard. It was like The first one was probably first exit, which is just easy. Everyone could do first exit on a roundabout. And then I think the other one was probably third exit, just to kind of test if you know what you're doing. Oh wait, I might have done 3 because I think I did do second exit as well. But then there was a lot of mini roundabouts, which are simple. A lot of traffic lights, so be prepared for traffic lights. They're not very hard, but you know, like if you get like traffic lights where they're very like compact and small, then you know that you're meant to, if you're turning right, then you need to go in front of the car, in front of any other cars that are turning to their right, if you know what I'm saying. You need to go in front of them, whereas if it's big, go behind them. What else? Oh yeah, meet and greets. If you don't know what meet and greets are, they're, you know, when you're in on quite a small road and other cars are coming towards you, you need to give way to them. I was really struggling with those, like in my most recent lessons, and then I just kept on going over them, and yeah, I'm like fine with them now. And just remember with those, always be the one, always try and be the one to stay back and give way to the other people. Like, don't wait for them to see what they're doing. Just wait, because you can't be marked down for waiting unless you wait for an insane amount of time, or you wait for nothing, and then you can get a minor for hesitating. But yeah, always be the first one to wait and just let people pass, and then it's so much more simple. And same with if you're on like quite a big like a main road, and say a big bus is coming towards you, just always let them past. And remember, if there's a bus waiting at the bus stop and you're coming up behind it, just like keep an eye on its signals. If it starts indicating right before you get to it, then obviously stay back and let it roll off. But if it's not, then indicate and go around it. What else is there? Yeah, just manoeuvres. Like if you're insured on your like parents' cars or like your siblings' car or whatever, and you're allowed to like practice away from your lessons, really just practice your manoeuvres and everything. Like it's so helpful. I practice a lot with like my mum, so yeah. So for instance, turning the road, they used to call it a 3-point turn, but now they don't, because you don't have to do it in three points. You can do it as much as you want. You can't do it an insane amount, or you'll get a minor again. But 3-point turns, remember, always check your mirrors. This is to go with everything, by the way, regardless of just 3-point turns. Turning the roads. When you're just driving along, even if you're just driving down a straight road, just keep checking your mirrors. Just kind of look and make it obvious you're checking them. Don't just like move your eyes. Like kind of do that and do that, and they can tell, because you seem way more aware. And yeah, so if you're doing like a turn in the road, every time you stop, just like look both ways, like make sure nothing's coming down the road. Reverse, stop, look both ways, and as you're reversing everything, obviously look around. Before you set off, do all of your checks all around. I got a minor because apparently I didn't double check. I still don't really know what that meant. Like, I don't know. Apparently it was just because I had gone like this before I set off, and then I think I waited a bit too long and then didn't check again. I think that might be what it was, and I got a minor. So remember to just literally double check if you have the chance. And so yeah, turn the road, you do all that. And remember, if you're doing a turn in the road and a car comes while you're doing the turn in the road, stop and wait to see what the car is doing, because if the car stops and fully stops, then you're allowed to keep going. But if it comes to a really slow and it's still just rolling a tiny bit, you're still not allowed to carry on. You need to wait and see what they're going to do, because if you start moving and then they stop, that's a major and you failed. So watch out for that. What else? Yeah, reverse around the corner. As I said, I got that. That one, the thing is, a lot of these maneuvers is that you don't have to do them exactly like you were taught. Like, you know, they say, okay, yeah, you turn the wheel one whole turn, one perfect turn, and then it has to be this certain like measurement in the mirror of from the door to the curb as you're going around the corner. It's like, it's really not like that, to be honest. Like, you can do kind of your own thing as long as you do it safely. So with a reverse around the corner, obviously reverse, do all your checks and everything, reverse, stop whenever you see any cars like in your mirror coming on your side. Because I actually used to stop when I saw cars coming towards me, but my test instructor was like, oh, don't worry about that. So I was like, oh, okay. And yes, I just kept on going, reverse, and then when you get to the corner, as you're before you're about to turn, stop, do all your checks again. Then as you turn, check your like blind spot, like out here, keep going, like obviously look in your wing mirror and see, just kind of follow the curb, just make sure the car is just like following the curb, and then look out your back and you see how you have the windscreen wiper, the back windscreen wiper, where that starts, the kind of pivot of the windscreen wiper, try and align that with the curb, and you should be going pretty straight. And so you do that, and like mixed with that, you do that and you look at your wing mirror and try and get your door handle, I can't remember, it's something like an inch or something away from the curb, like in the mirror, something like that. You'll know it's pretty, like, you know, what's the word, self-explanatory, I guess. And then the last maneuver, the other maneuver you might get is parallel parking, which I'm not great at because, I don't know, they can just change it, because you have to judge it by the car, and cars are all different sizes, they can be in facing different directions. So like, you pull up next to a car and it's facing forward, you need to line up with your wing mirror with its wing mirror, then start reversing, and then when your wing mirror lines up with the crack of their door, do one full turn as you're reversing, obviously, and then reverse, and then as the curb comes under your door handle, then you can do a full lock right and whatever, and then you can reverse back into it. And it doesn't matter if you do it wrong, it's completely fine to go forward, reverse, and all that back into it. It's fine. Oh yeah, also one thing a lot of people get nervous about is the emergency stop. Now, the emergency stop isn't what people think it is. A lot of people think you're driving and then they'll out of nowhere just go stop like that, and you have to stop really hard or whatever. It's really not like that. So before, like, as they're walking you to your car before the test, they actually tell you everything they're going to do. So with me, he was like, yeah, so today we're going to, I'm going to get you to do a reverse around the corner, I'm going to get you to do some independent driving, and yeah, just follow my directions. We might do a emergency stop if I feel it's necessary. And yeah, and it kind of gives you more confidence because you actually know what to prepare for, like, during the journey. It's not like they just spring everything on you in the lesson. And yeah, the emergency stop, they only do it to you if they have like enough time or if they really want to test you on it. He didn't do it for me personally, I don't know why, but yeah, he didn't tell me to do an emergency stop. But even if they do tell you to do an emergency stop, they'll pull you up on the side of the road and then they'll say, okay, I'm going to check all the mirrors for you, we're going to go set off, I'm going to check all the mirrors for you, and then I'm going to tell you to stop, and you need to do like an abrupt, like, emergency stop, and yeah, you have to see how it goes. It's really not a big deal. Like, emergency stops aren't that hard, and I think I can only imagine the most you'd get for it is a minor, because I don't know how you can get a major, like a fail for an emergency stop, unless, I don't know, you skid out of control and like crash into a car or something like that. But yeah, I don't know what else there is to say really. It's just general advice. Like, really, in my opinion, the stuff you learn in the stuff you learn in the theory test doesn't really even come into the practical test, in my opinion. But I guess a lot of it does, but I don't know, I just found a lot of the theory test questions a bit random, like they weren't completely necessary. But yeah, just the main things you need to remember, just always check your mirrors, keep checking your mirrors, drive really calmly and smoothly, not slowly though, you have to keep up to speed, because you can be failed if you are too slow or too fast. I'm quite good at just keeping it perfectly on 30, or perfectly on the speed limit. But I must admit, during the test I did feel like I was going a bit slow sometimes, and I was a bit worried. But yeah, it's fine. See, I actually filmed that part like 3 days ago now, but yeah, you get the gist. It's just follow everything I said and you should be good. I'm really sorry the video cut there, it's because my battery ran out. But I've actually been driving a lot since then already, so yeah, I hope that helped, and I hope this was a helpful video. Thanks, see you next time. Simples, peace. Stuff. Whereas mine was just who knows what the fuck is going on.
Well, it's a music
video, but I've never done that before, so it's not exactly
neither have we
like,
really. So.
Yeah, so that was kind of just something new that we wanted.